Hello everyone, welcome to my garden, and it has been quite a long time since I've said this, welcome to my garden. So it's such a nice feeling to say that again, welcome to my garden. A lot has changed since I have recorded my last video, which was probably sometime in March. And this time we have a totally new garden space that I'm going to walk you through and show you around that what has changed, what we have, and all of that good stuff. So a little bit about my garden. This is our backyard and this is where I garden. Our fence line goes diagonally from one end to the other, which makes this side of the garden or of the backyard makes little bit deep corner because it doesn't go straight. So we wanted to do something about it so that it's not that obvious. This deep corner of our garden, of our backyard, is not so prominent. Especially it became very prominent after we did the fence, and then we had our sunroom which has sharp corners and all of that. So it's like very straight lines, sharp corners, which was not the vibe. So we thought of changing it and try to soften that straight lines and edges in our backyard. So we thought of making some garden beds which can soften up the look that we have going on in our garden. So we thought of making some changes. So we drew a lot of garden designs, that how we should do it, and because it's like more of like a very square backyard, so there is not much that you can do in terms of if you want backyard grass space as well, and if you want like so that kids can play, and we have a dog as well. So we wanted to do something which can fit in our current backyard design that we have. Another one was we wanted to have a patio area where we can sit in the backyard. Before that it was all grass and there was garden, but there was no area where we can actually sit and enjoy the garden. It was more of like sitting in the sunroom or on the deck and enjoy the garden. It was not actually in the garden surrounded by flowers. So that's what we always craved for, and we wanted some patio area. So we came up with a couple of designs and drawings and all of that, what can we do, and we end up settling down on this design that we have right now. So we thought of making a patio area in that corner, the diagonal fence that is going, so that we can use this big area on this side of the backyard, and then we can create some garden beds which can help soften up the straight edges and straight lines in our garden. So that's why we thought of making this very free flowing curves in the garden, and we have used bricks to make the border because we also wanted to have less maintenance. We went with these bricks because they kind of like matched with the bricks that we have in our front yard and on the side of the front of the house and side of our house. So it kind of like match as well, and we like the look of the bricks as well. So we went with the bricks because of that. And the gravel, I liked the sound when you walk on it, so I wanted to have like gravel patio. In future we will see what we'll do, but for now this was also cost effective as well if you compare it with the patio, and if you put pavers and all, so this was the best option. So we went ahead with the gravel patio. We still have to change the furniture and also ignore all of this. This is just existing some bistro set that we had, so I put it here for now. These two garden beds that I have on each side of this patio, we have tried our best to make them look as even as possible on both of the sides, but the plantings are going to be different in each bed, so they're not going to be similar plantings. We will be planting some trees in here because this corner is very exposed. If I look this side, we have neighbors' houses on both of our sides. It feels very exposed if you sit here. We have great neighbors, but still we want to have some sort of like privacy. When you sit here, it doesn't feel like that you are sitting in the open. So to achieve that, we have some plans for this area. So we will be going for tree shopping in upcoming weeks, and you will be coming along with us for that adventure. But that will be coming in upcoming weeks, and all of the plantings and everything will start. But for the planning wise, we want to plant some flowers around it so that we sit here surrounded by beautiful flowers and blooms, and we also get beautiful shade in the morning as well, probably around till 11:30 in the summers, and then in the evening, right now it's evening time and we have full shade in the backyard, so it's going to be amazing space to just sit and just have fun. Entrance for this garden bed, I wanted to have some sort of like a small walkway where when you are entering, it feels like you are entering to some that secret, that sort of like a room in the garden where you can sit and just enjoy a cup of coffee or something like that. And to achieve that, I'm going to have an arch here, and then some climbing vines or something growing on them, so that when you enter, it'll feel like you're going into that doorway to that beautiful space, which is going to be this patio. And the plan is that we won't be able to see anything or very little as possible from the other side of this patio. So it's more of like when you enter this, it's going to be a beautiful garden room surrounded by beautiful blooms, flowers, and all of that beauty that comes with gardening. So these are our two garden beds. The main area, very excited for this area specifically. There's always that one area in the garden every year or season, right, which excites you a lot. So this is that area. I'm just planning for it, dreaming about it, all of that. So let's see how it goes, and very excited for this one. And if you move along with me, then this is our old trellis that we have. This is the center of our fence. So from this side, we have half of our fence on that side, half of our fence on this side. And before, we had one garden bed running along this fence. So this sort of like breaks that, which is great. We didn't have to move any of that. So this is where it was before. So we didn't move this because this was perfectly situated in the center of the fence, and it sort of like makes, okay, this is separate garden and this is a separate garden, because design wise as well, we have a big curve in this garden bed. We made this garden bed a little bit deeper. There are things that are going to be moved. Mostly everything is going to be moved, and this I get to design from the scratch. Very, very excited for it. We have to do a lot of weeding, which is going to be starting soon. So I thought I'll film this before starting the gardening season, before garden tour, and show you as well, because I've been talking about it from quite some time at this point. So this garden bed curves around and it goes all the way to our entrance of our backyard. This is another curve that I have. There is nothing much. There was no garden on this side of the fence. So we just had a garden in alongside our back fence, but nothing was growing or nothing was here. There were a couple of pots and planters were here in front of this fence, but now we have the whole garden space, which is so exciting for any gardener. If you love gardening, having more space is always like you can't beat that. And it goes alongside this fence and it'll take you outside. So like I said, there was no garden bed on this side as well. Before, the entrance was very messy because we had some construction going on and it was just like not great. And with this brick border on this side as well, the maintenance and making it tidier and nicer will help us a lot. So this year I'm also taking a break from veggie gardening. I used to garden a lot, veggie gardening, onions, garlic, you name it, I have grown it. But this year, this is my veggie garden. I don't want to put so much effort into things which I don't enjoy in my garden and which takes space. So I rather have flowers and do all of that in my garden than growing veggies, which we probably won't even use. So I'm going to probably grow some peppers and things like that in this garden bed. And I think this is a very decent sized garden bed where I can do my veggie gardening. And this is the door from where you enter in the backyard. And the plan is to have this garden bed full of blooms, full of flowers. This year a lot of annuals are going to be there in my garden because it's going to take some time to have that structure, have that perennials, all of that planting where they need to go, because this year I'm going to be learning my garden sort of a thing. So this year a lot of annuals are going to go in. I'm going to start a lot of them from seed in a week or so, and then also from the plants as well. Now come here. So this garden bed which is alongside of our house, so this was more of like dead space in our garden before. So for this one, the only thing we used to do was maintain it, or try to maintain it rather, and just some mulch was there, nothing was happening here. But now I have a decent size garden bed. I'm planning to have some zinnias growing in this bed because this side of our house get full sun whole day long, and I feel like zinnias are perfect candidate for this area, and I can have my cut garden in this side of the house. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. So far that's the plan. I might grow some zinnias in the backyard garden as well, but so far I'm thinking this is perfect spot for zinnias because I sometimes get powdery mildew in my backyard when I grow zinnias. Here I hope that's not the case because this area gets full sun, and I can just maybe try that in this area, and some other annuals or some perennials, something. I'm still planning for it, not really sure what's going in where, but a lot of flowers are going to be there for sure. So this is our front yard garden bed. There is not much has changed for this particular garden bed because that's the dog. He always sits there whenever I'm in the front yard working, so he always sit there and watch me do garden, which is great. Hey boy. So for this garden bed, there is not much that has changed. Obviously, we have the brick border, and we have tried to make some curves in our front yard as well. Same way like we did in the backyard. We did level this one because it was not leveled before. So we did level, make the level, try to make the level from the other side of the garden bed. And I was doing some pruning, so ignore all of that. I need to clean up all of that. So some of the plants are going to move from this garden bed to different places, and some are going to stay, and there are new things coming. But for now, this is the old garden bed with some refresh. The biggest change that we had in our front yard is this island bed. This bed is the showstopper for me because we had just one tree ring and one tree was growing in it, and it was not that great. So we changed that and we planted our first tree this fall. This is Sioux crepe myrtle, and crepe myrtles are everywhere in the south and they are such beautiful plants. We just had to had one. We did not want to plant anything big in a front yard. This is going to be a decent sized tree. I will put the stats on the screen for this particular crepe myrtle. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully this wakes up in spring because this is our first planting for this new garden and the big one as well. So we're very excited to see this tree to wake up in our garden, and there's nothing else for now. But this was a big decision because we had a small tree ring and now we have this big bed. So it was quite a shock for my husband specifically because he was like, I don't know. And because he's not a gardener, I'm the gardener. So it was, and this was my birthday gift from him. He asked me what you want. I was like, okay, make me garden. So he made me. So there was no choice. So I did not give him any choice. Basically, he's smiling behind the camera, but he agrees to it. Okay, so yes, so this is our very big sort of like decision, a change in the front yard, and we had one that side of our garage. There was a small garden bed there. We made the border and some nice plant is going to go in that bed as well. So yeah, this is the garden tour, which I'm very excited to be start planting soon, and I will take you along this journey. And thanks for watching, and I hope you like it, and I hope you are excited as much as I'm excited to fill this garden beds with flowers and blooms and all that goodness. So I will take you along with this journey with me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.